your one team is going against a team that's shorthanded, and that there's just kind of that mental hurdle tonight. Like, Minnesota lost at home, Golden State loses at home. Why do you think you were able to kind of stem away from that and stay locked in on a back-to-back like this?
I thought there were stretches that we played good defensively. We lost, our way at the end of the third, start of the fourth when they went on that run. But the way we were able to generate good offense, and I think it was 48 threes and 34 were uncontested. Just our guys' ability to connect, and Luka leading that with 14 assists, and probably could have had 18 or 19. But to have another game with 30-plus assists, I thought our offensive decision-making and consistency, where we had 4 really good offensive quarters was great.
And then with Luka kind of doing his thing, you also had Austin attacking sometimes on the weak side, sometimes as primary. What did you make of how kind of deadly he was with what he was?
Yeah, I think just the Luka and having Austin as the next passer a lot of times. So when there were 2 on the ball, or they were double, or we're in a heavy shift from the nail, having AR there as the guy that can either shoot or create the blender with his thrust on his drives was really good. And then that group that was playing end of first, start of second with Dalton and Vando, just playing out of our horns, our movement stuff out of horns. We got some really good stuff out of that. AR, Dalton, Vando, all of them.
To shift ahead to the next 2, how much will you reference what happened on the road against those teams? Not even motivation, but you had different personnel as you prepare for the Wednesday game against Denver. Looking at that game you guys just had there.
Yeah, I think against Denver, you're going to reference it a lot, because there were things that we did really well that we think we can emulate again, and then there were some things that we didn't do well. And particularly with that game, our transition defense has to be better, and then we have to do a better job of protecting the paint against Milwaukee.
JJ, I don't think you'll play a lot of games necessarily. We'll shoot almost 53s, and 70% will be.
Sorry, I lost you there for a second. I'm going to play no games. I'm not going to play any games. I'm done.
Feels more like a Mike question than one for me. But the thing I'm wondering is are you guys unlocking stuff offensively in terms of, that was always going to follow kind of the defensive part of it, but are you seeing that guys are getting more comfortable playing with Luka, finding the right spots, the cuts, the when to flare, and all of that stuff? And is this maybe a harbinger of the things you guys can be offensively?
Yes, and I think for us to fully unlock our team offense, we need to be whole. Again, going back to our group and their responsiveness to everything throughout the season, they generally have done an outstanding job. When we've challenged them on certain things, they've responded. I think Greg has done a really nice job with not a lot of court time over the last few weeks, and really breaking down on film what we want our spacing to look like versus blitzes and pick and roll versus doubles in the post versus doubles from the nail versus fires from the top. Like, we've done some really good things against that, and then just if they're not going to double and they're not going to blitz, like, our packaging around that has I think been good. And even in some of the games where we haven't necessarily had a great offensive rating, you can kind of attribute that to turnovers and missing shots. I mean, even just the last 2 games, our rim efficiency was really, really poor. I think we were like 10 for 23 at the half against Denver, and it wasn't great yesterday against Phoenix either. So I think it's all going to come together where, we're finishing, we're passing, we're taking care of the basketball, and we're making threes. But pleased with how we're able to generate good looks fairly consistently.
Lakers and Luka taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Second night of back-to-back. Lakers are now 7-3 on the second leg. Luka with the steal, walk into a 3. 9-8 Spurs. Next possession. AR. Knocked down the three. Never looked back. Moments later. Big game. It's Luka getting into the paint. 8-footer good.
Yeah, it does a good job of getting to the threat area. Little 8-footer. Knocks it down.
CP.
Three, still getting it done.
Less than 4 here in the first quarter. Luka, Christian Coloco. Just all you got to do is catch and dunk, Rob.
Yeah, it's good curl there by Luka, recognizing that the big was coming over to help. I'm going to go over the top. Coloco for 2.
Lakers with it again. Dalton connect. Quick release. Buries it. Final seconds here, Brez. Austin Reeves to the basket, spin, layup, foul.
Yeah, Mamu had no chance on that one. That's a bad mismatch. Got crossed up, got spun around, and Austin Reeves just doing AR stuff.
Second quarter. Vando, driving dunk with the left. More from Vando. Nice bounce pass. Dalton, the left-handed finish. More Dalton, big game.
Well, Dalton, you know, he doesn't need much airspace, and if you back down and go under that pick, he just steps right into a 3, uncontested.
Luka with a little look off and a one-handed push pass to Finney Smith. 50-38. Spurs timeout. Doe saying, I can make an open one. Rob Jackson Hayes is going to fake it.
Yeah, that's the
Bury
best
it.
move ever when you think, oh, you're going to give it to the scariest man on the planet, Luka?
No paint.
Sohan just fell for it.
Luka, rebound right to him. Put back layup. End of the half here. Goody. Jordan Goodwin, 15 points. Second straight start. Lakers lead by 14. Third quarter off a steal. Luka, AR. Set the feet, knock it down in front of your bench. Later, Brez, we talked a lot about this in the pregame show, this connection.
Yeah, I think if Luka, if you give him an MVP ballot for his teammates, he might put Jackson Hayes #1 because he brings him that much joy by just throwing it up and watching him dunk.
Austin Reeves, big game, putting Biombo on little skates right there.
LeBron coming out, look at the nice handle, creates the space. Defender can't get back to him. Austin Reeves doing a good job, and then the lob over the back, over the top. Looked like Austin Reeves set a nice back pick. Barely. Hayes over the top. Nice pass from Luka D.
That was nice. Rob, just guys are wide open.
Yeah, and I love that shot because he stepped up to the line and knocked it down instead of shooting 10 feet behind the line.
Press. Jordan Goodwin.
This guy played 9 games for the South Bay Lakers in January. Now he's performing like this with the Los Angeles Lakers. Really impressive. What's not so impressive is the Spurs defense there. He's
W.A.
wide
open, be more. Open, Brez. Wide open. Three ball. Campani. Reeves. His 5th 3. Good game. You're going to see Finney Smith. The ball's just moving.
Yeah, just unselfish, extra pass.